Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Find your own voice. Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows, everyone. My name is Nomsa Clara Mnube. I am the founder of Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency and the founder of Ngosi Talk Shows. I'm your love harmonist, and with me today, I have the lovely Shireen Groove. Over to you, Shireen. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, Numsa. Thank you for having me. I'm Sharon Lovegrove, and I help women with imposter syndrome to reclaim back their life, release regret, and to resume their careers with power, purpose, and grace. So I love this topic. I'm really looking forward to this one that we're going to talk about today, because imposter syndrome, a lot of people with imposter syndrome really struggle in relationships. So one of those things and we're talking about Valentine's Day. So if we want to have a really good Valentine's Day, we need to make sure we have a good mindset in order to make it successful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shireen. So our topic today is how having the wrong mindset will keep you from love on Valentine's Day. So we're not just talking about Valentine's Day, we're talking about basically life in general. Because of Valentine's Day, some people might be single on Valentine's Day, they might be lonely, or you may find that some people already in a relationship. But because of the mindset, and then you end up having that miserable day instead of being happy. Happiness basically is something that we have to practice every day. Your mindset basically is the critical component of you deciding how are you going to respond to life, how are you going to respond to your relationship. And your heart and your mind basically is the foundation of darkness in your life. You can decide to have a big argument with your spouse and say, you know what, I'm not going to talk to him, or I'm not going to be this, or I'm just going to be miserable. A relationship is like that. We have ups and downs. How you respond to those arguments is how you are able to move forward. Basically, will determine how you spend your Valentine's Day. If you're single, you can decide, you know what, it's just another day. I'm gonna have friends to go out with my girlfriends, or just ask myself, Nomsa, would you be my Valentine's Day? And just spoil yourself and have fun, and just have fun. Or you can choose to be miserable. Over to you, Shireen, please. Your own opinion about this.
Well, I absolutely love what you say, is that it's really about us. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's about us and how we are in the world. And, the interesting thing is that we live our life almost a lot unconsciously. Yeah. Most of our biology is unconscious. We don't have the capacity, the mental capacity to organize our heart and to organize our lungs and to organize breathing or whatever other biological thing we have. But the thing is, we let that happen for our body. The thing is, we live most of the time not thinking about the patterns we run. And so we're in them, right? So when we were little, we formed some forms of patterns which will tell us our story about how we love, what is love. all those kinds of things. We also learn stories about ourselves and about our self-love, our ability to be loved, our deserving of love. Are we enough for love? All of these kinds of things. And they all will impact us in how we respond in relationships. And we'll do this automatically. We'll do this out of awareness. And so when we have those kinds of things, which you said, I'll walk away, or I'll not say anything, or I'll keep quiet and I'll just go and sulk, or any of those kind of things. This creates so much unsafety for the person that you're experiencing, or they're experiencing, is that the last thing they want to do is kind of get involved. And so you start to have these situations where other people are actually reflecting you, right? They're reflecting you. So when you're in your kind of I'm going to be on my own kind of stuff, or I'm not going to talk to you kind of stuff, then they're going, you're activating those parts in them, and they're going, well, I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff either. Yeah. And two wrongs do not make a right, only in maths. Okay. It doesn't make a right in relationships. This is the thing. So the most important thing is to realize is that we have to have a good relationship with ourselves first. That good relationship with yourself requires you to think and be aware of that thinking, that mindset of how you're going to move in life and how you're going to create what it is that you want. And, if you get love in the process, great. But the most important person that you need to love and learn to love and accept is you. And once you do that, it's much easier for people to love you. This is the crazy thing. It's easier for them to love you, but it's also easier for you to love them.
That is actually so true, Shireen. I love it when you say you have a good relationship with yourself first, and you have a mindset to create what you want. Because that's why we have our own mindset. That's why, happiness, it brings a happiness to you. Some people will say, I'm going to be happy when I get married. I'm going to be happy when I do this. But actually, happiness, we create it ourselves. No one can get married and decide to be happy. You have to be happy first before you get married. Because when you are designing and saying, this is the man that I want, so how can you ask a man that you want, a woman that you want, if yourself, you are not that kind of a person? If you say, I want a man that is going to make me happy, are you happy yourself? Are you going to make that man happy? So that's why it's very, very important when you basically, like right now, Valentine's Day is closer, it's next week. Instead of us being miserable and saying, I'm single, for those who are single, and saying, I don't have a Valentine's Day, someone to spend time with. You know what? God created you. You have parents that basically created you, and with God. And those parents, that woman who carried you, she was on her own with her husband. They carried you. And then they gave birth to you. They taught you. You had to learn the process of learning to walk on your own, learning to eat, learning to do this with those parents. And then then you had to go and face the world. But there was no man, there was no woman. So that means you can still do it and face the world on your own, and being happy at the same time, and saying, you know what, God, I'm open to whoever you want to bring into my life. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to accept this person. But at this moment, I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna look after me. I'm just gonna, if it's like Valentine's Day, Shireen, you just order takeaway and buy those flowers and just be happy.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
I love that. I think what was really strikes me, which is such an powerful, important thing, is that I will be happy when, and the idea of that we can't be happy now. Yeah, that is one of the biggest, most insidious problems in our life. Yeah, Because what often happens, we have these kind of three levels of judges. We judge ourselves, we judge others, but the worst one that makes us more helpless is the fact that we say, I will be happy when, putting off our happiness for a future event, right? We can't control that future. We can only control the now. Yeah. And I love it because I love listening to Abraham Hicks, but really one of the things is if you are unhappy, you're going to keep attracting unhappiness. If you are unhappy, you're going to attract unhappy people into your life. Trust me, because you're going to be attracting like for like. Yeah. So it's really useful to think, well, if I'm happy right now, I'm going to attract the highest potential of somebody that is a happy person. I won't attract someone who's miserable because they want their misery, right? So this is how it works. So if you make those efforts to be happy, what happens is you build up a lot of the mental stamina that allows you to sustain you in those times when you feel just that little bit out, right? And you want to have that happiness to keep building that. And that is a mental muscle you have to develop, right? And the problem is, if we've had a difficult time in life, we haven't built that mental muscle. So we haven't probably learned how to hold those moments and then choose happiness, because it is a choice. And actually, we came into this world. Yes, we had our parents as caretakers, but once that cord was snapped and cut, we were alone. And we are alone responsible for us. That's it. We are responsible for our mindset. We are responsible for our health. We are responsible for us. If we have that, think, feel, and act. Yeah.
That is so true. We basically, happiness is a choice. I agree with you, Shireen. We can decide how we want to live our lives, and we can decide how we respond to the world or to life, and we can decide how we see the world. And also, sometimes you hear people saying, okay, I'm looking for a spouse or a partner that will fulfill my needs. Or sometimes they'll be saying, my husband doesn't fulfill my needs. So sometimes I get curious. So I'm like, how? How so? How is he not fulfilling your needs? Or how is she not fulfilling your needs? And they're like, I like to go for walks, or I like to go running, but it doesn't come with me, or I like to watch these TV programs. I'm like, but you can watch it yourself. Why do you need your husband to watch it with you? And they're like, but it makes a big difference. I'm like, no, it doesn't. No one can fulfill your needs. If I really find a TV program that I want to watch, I just go to the shops and buy popcorn and sit on the sofa and fulfill my needs. If I feel that I want my spouse to watch it, if I tell them about the program and they're interested to watch it, yes, they can listen to me talking about the program. If they are interested, they can come and watch it with me. But if they say, "Oh no, I don't," that's not my kind of thing, I won't feel offended, because we're all different. We're all different people. So I always say to my friends, go for a walk. Find friends to go out for a walk with you. Because when you go for a walk and your husband goes and does other things, and then you do other things together, it gives you something to talk about when you come back. And also, those are simple things. They are really, really things that basically that you need, the things that you can do together, or maybe like values that you have to do them together, because if you don't, like family values, like beliefs, some beliefs can destroy a relationship, but some values can. But some things like interest, it brings you closer, because like I always see you with your husband, you guys are always out walking and doing other things, but it's because it's a choice between you and your husband. He loves it, you love it. But then there are some things, I'm sure, that you go out with your girlfriend and say like, honey, I need my me time, and just leave him at home, or he goes with his friends. So I always tell my friends that you don't have to be with your man all the time, or you don't have to be your wife or your woman with all the time. Sometimes they have to do their own things. Sometimes you have to do fulfill your needs. No one can actually fulfill your needs. And I always tell my clients that when they say, I say, what are you looking for? They're like, I need a guy who is tall. So I'm like, you are tall. We already know that. There's no way that I'm gonna match you with somebody shorter. So you to give me something. Give me something to work with. All these tall eyes is something a common sense, but I need tell me what you want. Tell me the future. Do you see with your husband? You don't tell me that I see my husband, a tall guy, and this. He already knows. God already knows. The universe already knows. I'm like, give me something to work with. So then they were like, tall is important. I'm like, yes, it is. It is important. But you are going to find that tall guy. The universe and God already knows. Say out loud the rejection that you've gone through. Just say the things that it matters in your life. And they're like, oh, okay. So I need a husband to that, or I need a man. And it's going to be like, okay. So then
Yeah.
that's when I know that this person needs coaching. They're not ready to actually go out, because when somebody says, I need a man that can fulfill my needs, I'm like, no, they can't, because your needs are special. You can share your life with that person. You can share the love that you have discovered with that person, but they cannot fulfill the love that you're looking for. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, Shireen. I've tried this before to say I'm looking for a man who's going to fulfill my needs, but my expectations were never met.
Well, I think that's a really valid question, and I think that there are a couple of things.
Yeah,
One of the things are there are needs that need you to fulfill,
yeah,
and there are needs that you need to be fulfilled in a relationship. So I
yeah,
think there's two separate things. Um, and I think the needs that you need fulfilled, those are going to be independent of this relationship.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's kind of like what is it that's the common need that each of you need in that relationship. So maybe most relationships are about connection. Most
yeah,
relationships are about having someone to be with,
yeah,
that cares about you and loves you,
yeah,
someone that can support you in the sense
yeah,
of how, and that would be negotiable. How will they support you? In what way?
yeah,
These kinds of things, because we all have different ideas, and it might be worth them knowing what's your idea of support. Thank you very much. So, of course, there are these needs, but and I think it's really about looking at where can you I'm not saying the word compromise, because they also have their needs, so they're the third person, so you've got this trinity happening, right? So you've got this person, there's you, and then there's this what you create.
yeah,
And what you create has to be on that space of a mutual dream, a mutual desire, a mutual connection of what it is that you both see as a relationship. So I'm guessing the most important thing is being really clear about the kind of values. I would go first with that. I actually told someone today, what wouldn't you want? And then state that in the positive. So this person said, well, I want this person to be loyal. I wouldn't want him to be sort of messing around. And that's how I said, so you would like somebody that will consider your needs. Yeah,
yeah,
will consider when you ask them to phone you, they do, right?
yeah,
That when you have cooked supper, they make time to actually damn well eat it. Yeah.
yeah,
Or they go and cook you a meal because you're tired. Yeah.
yeah,
These kinds of things are the way that we fulfill those needs and make us feel loved. Because when we feel loved, we don't need them to do so much. Actually, they can do quite little. But
yeah,
if they can make you feel like you are the world to them, like my partner, I go downstairs and I wake up and I'm a bit groggy, and he's gone downstairs and he's made me a cup of tea. For me, those little things
it's the
tell
little
me
things, yeah,
he
that
loves
matters the most. Yeah,
me, right? He
makes
doesn't
a
have to be
difference.
with me all day. He often goes walking, so he's one of those. And the thing is, I know that he would be feeling very hemmed in if I had to have him there all the time, right? So I know that I'm okay because he makes me coffee. Or he makes and when he comes home, he'll be there with me. He'll be present. And I think it's really about how present are you each in your relationships. Yeah. Are you present to that person's needs? And are you able to say, I can't fulfill that need? So you need to be able to know what you can and cannot fulfill in that negotiation or that discussion of what are you creating. So yeah, and I think sometimes we can have maybe our backstory. So the story of what we believe the perfect man should be
Yeah.
might set us up to not seeing the perfect fit. Yeah,
Yeah.
really interesting because when we have a dream or an idea that's normally based on a belief from when we're a child, and that's kind of, like, oh, this man's going to come and save me. This man's going to do this. This is a childhood belief. This is not the fact, right?
Yeah.
And you never hear the stories after in all, in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and in Rose Red and whatever, Briar Rose and Rose Red. All these stories, they get married. And then what? And then what? You don't hear anything else because that's the illusion. That's the illusion. You get married and then you've got to work.
Yeah.
You've got to work at creating that relationship. So, but the thing is what you bring into that relationship, if you have an image that this guy isn't your perfect guy, then you're sabotaging yourself from the start. Yeah. Already once the little bit of lovely first kind of infatuation falls down, you are in the criticism mode. You are looking and coming from that place of lack of being hard done by. Yeah. And then you'll probably be fighting and you'll be cruel.
I love that, Shireen, when you say be clear about your values and the little things, the little things that your spouse do for you, and they matter a lot. Like when you meet someone, I'm sure when you met your spouse from the beginning, they were trying basically to impress you. They make coffees, do this, they do this, or they'll run a bath for you. And once you get married or once you start living together, those little things, they stop. And then that's when the relationship changes. And so basically, for me, what I do is if I want something and somebody has been doing things for me, like I don't drink coffee, I don't drink tea, hot chocolate and cappuccino, that's what I drink. If I really need a drink, I just ask, honey, as you are in the kitchen, could you please make me this? Because I know that they're not gonna say no, or they're just gonna make it for me. And because it's natural, or if I'm in the kitchen, I ask the same time, what would you like me to do? I'm in the kitchen when I'm standing. Is there anything you would like? Or they say, may I please have a drink? Or may I please have this? So it's just like working as a team and knowing that no one is perfect in a relationship.
Yeah.
But those little things, like you were saying, they make so much different. They make a big, big, big difference in a relationship. And also taking good care of yourself for those who are single. The qualities, don't basically when you are single, if you are somebody, we for me, basically I hear women saying or men saying, there is no one out there for me, there is no good women or good men out there for me. But I can tell you this, there are good quality women out there who are looking for somebody who is single the same way you are looking for them. So if you say to the universe is there for us to request what we want, what we desire. You tell God or the universe, this is my desire. The quality of a woman that you are looking for, and the quality of a man that you are looking for. If your mindset is in the right place, guess what? You can find that quality man at the bus stop when you step on the street, your street. They might be
Yeah.
lost. As long as your mindset is in the right place, There are some people, like, sometimes when I'm lost, sometimes I'm somewhere, maybe my phone has died, or I'm trying to look for a map and it's not clear. And when I ask, it's like trying to stop somebody to ask, they get really grumpy. So if you have a good mindset and somebody stops you, like Dr. Pickett said, basically her spouse stopped her while she was in a rush, and he was looking for something, and I don't think he was looking for something. I think it was an excuse for him. And she said he stopped her, and she was really in a rush, and she was like, okay, I have to stop. Her mindset was in the right place, and she just stopped, and they started talking, and the poor guy swapped the number and said, I'd like to take you on a date. You're a lovely person. If you want to, of course. So that's how their love story began. So even is similar to mine as well. My love story began like that. I went out. I was on a dating site, busy looking for men, and one day I was out, not expecting to meet somebody, but I did. And normally, basically, I wouldn't basically look for or basically swap my numbers. But that day, I was like, okay, you want my number? You can have my number. So then I just walked away, no expectations, nothing, basically expecting nothing, but ended up being something. So your mindset has to be in the right place, like you are saying, and when you know what you want, you have a clear idea of what you want, and you actually tell the universe exactly what you want. I don't know if you have friends, Shireen, that tell you that I can't find the man that matches my whatever I'm looking for. I have higher expectations. By then you can see their life that they are lonely, but they're not being honest. So for me, basically, if anyone is single, or sometimes some people say I'm happy on my own, but deep down they are lonely.
No, no.
So all I can say is the universe wants you to be honest. Just put it out there. Your feelings has got nothing to do with anybody's business. If you are lonely, just say God or universe, I love to meet my soulmate one day. I love to do that. If you can help me with that, but then you have to be ready to
Yeah.
step outside with an attitude, the right attitude, the
Yeah.
right character as well. And for those who are in a relationship, Sherina has just mentioned the little things that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Really, really difference. So, Shireen, do you have any advice for anyone who is in a relationship for Valentine's Day? How they can be make themselves happy or in their relationship?
Well, I think if we're saying making themselves happy, I think we need to have awareness of some things,
Yeah,
which is really, when we you were saying something really about putting things out there to the universe, and
yeah,
and
yeah,
then telling the university, yeah. But
yeah.
the thing is, we have to raise our resonance so that we get to that dream, right?
Yeah,
So we have to
yeah,
create the mindset that's going to give us that space. And I
yeah,
believe that's our mental muscle. But the thing is, if we meet that person, what will happen is we're still the same person that hasn't raised her game to actually match the dream that we've created. Yeah. And what happens is you go into the excitement for a short period of time, but now you've jumped beyond, and you still have all these saboteurs, you still have all these negative patterns. And what happens is when the energy comes down, when the excitement drops, these saboteurs or negative energy patterns are there. So the whole important thing is, starting with that loving yourself, is about really mentally clearing stuff, right? We need to do a mental clear. We need to get rid of stuff that is holding us back, that are the lies we tell ourselves, right? The lies that say that we can't find someone that's good for us, that we can't be happy, those kind of lies, the lies that they have to be this, and this. Maybe it's more about just really focusing and saying, well, I would just really love somebody that is going to be kind, that is going to be compassionate, that's going to show me evidence. We need the evidence, obviously. We need some evidence to show us that they are actually nice people. Yeah. And I think that when we're setting ourselves up for Valentine's Day, particularly if it's a partner that you already have, I think I would look at what is it that I so love about this person? What is it that I so love? I would try and between now, a week from now and to Valentine's Day, spend time every day writing down what it is that you love about this person. Right? What is it you love? What does that give you? Right? So when my partner brings me my tea, I say thank you, but sometimes I don't think about, oh wow, this makes me feel this. And the thing is you must tell them. You must say what it gives you, because when we say to people, thank you, this does this for me, it makes the other person want to do it more, because you're saying thank you and you're telling them. And this is when you say that when in the first relationship, people start and, they'll draw your bath for you, yeah, until time goes. The reason is when they draw the bath, we don't make a fuss. We don't say, oh my goodness, thank you. Oh, wow, I'm going to just love this moment. Oh, thank you. And you sit there and you tell them afterwards, oh, I feel so relaxed. Oh, thank you. If you don't do that, what happens is they don't get this message that you're making them happy. And so they want you happy, because when you're happy, guess what? You make them happy, right? You make their life better. So think about this. Think about over the course to this week. Think about those things that you love about that person, or if someone does something for you, just stop and just say, oh, thank you for that. This gives me this. And just be really clear. So if it gives you more time, if it gives you more space, if it gives you, if it gives you the opportunity to just relax, tell them that. Tell them, share it, because now you're creating a relationship, right? Now you're creating, you are manifesting your happiness. You are telling somebody, this makes me happy. And what they hear is, I want to make you happy. I love you. Right? So this is the key. This is the key. And if you do this, I guarantee between now and Valentine's Day, you will have a good Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely guarantee it.
yeah, that is so true, Shireen. And also, you have to, those who are in a relationship, you have to practice. It's like we have a Valentine's Day. If you practice your love life to be like every single day, you look at your life as like today is my Valentine's Day, each and every day, not celebrate your love life in specific on Valentine's Day. I think it does help as well. Like it's like, I look at since 2019 and 2020. I don't know what's been happening with these years in 2021. My friends, they have lost their husbands, their spouse through death, or they're separated and divorce. And I look at my spouse, I say to God, I thank God that for teaching me that basically for to fulfill my needs within. For I thank God for me entering personal development, because I don't think if I didn't have the knowledge when it comes to relationship, I'll be with my spouse, because when you look at things, you look at your life, like how I'm responding. There are some battles basically with my spouse that for me, they're not my battles, and I choose the battles that I want to fight. And I was talking to my ex the other day, and he was really down, but then he's trying to pick an argument with me. So then I responded to him. I was like, number one, you're my family. I'm not going to fight you. And number two, what exactly is going on? So normally when somebody is reacting to you, it means that there is something is going on, but because you are there, so you have to pick up the pieces. He didn't respond, and then a few days later, and he was like, I'm sorry, he bought a new car, and the car is not worked out with what he wanted, is not in the right condition, so he's unhappy because they spend money. So I said to him, sometimes you have to look at your health and be grateful, because if you are hard on yourself, then your health gets destroyed. So I was like, so we can change the car, you can buy a new car, but with the health you can't. Money is just money. Unfortunately, you are unlucky with that car that is gone wrong. So I was like, you have to look after yourself, because is how we respond to every situation. We have to look after ourselves. And then you talk about the lies as well, the lies that we tell ourselves that we are not enough. And sometimes there were times where, like, sometimes I hear my thoughts telling me negative things. I'll be saying, no, sir, you are a liar, you are enough. Or, so I'll just say it out loud and just tell myself off and just say, no, this, because sometimes our mind can work against us. So we have that energy within that we can actually choose how we respond to every situation. And married couples, those who have got their spouse and we're looking forward to Valentine's Day, just look at Valentine's Day and be grateful. If your relationship is not going well, just look at what are you contributing for that relationship to be the way it is. Because sometimes we can get stuck into our egos where we say we blame our spouse or we blame ourselves that we are not enough just because of our past. So for me, basically, I would say I felt really, really sad. I went to scrolling on Facebook. There's this one of the matchmakers. We did training, and the last time I saw her was 2021. Uh, I think it was between July and August, and September. I've not spoken to her since September 2021, and I saw her on her profile that her husband was fine then. Her husband died basically, and I was like, does it mean basically we have to enjoy every moment because we know our date of birth, but we don't know our date of death. So it means basically you have to enjoy every moment. And with your husband, for me personal, Shireen, I refuse to fight people. But before, honestly, before, if somebody will be saying fighting me, I'll be like, hell no, who do you think you are? I'll be wanting to fight back, wrestling
Yeah.
match. But now I'm realizing that actually when somebody is actually fighting me, that means they can either crying out for help or they're just mean. So I don't have to respond that way. So if somebody is crying out for help, basically it's for me to stop. There are so many people. I know we went to Sharon's event. You saw that girl, she passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and those things, people going just like that, for me is making me realize actually that when you meet somebody, you have to respect them. You have to show them some love, and even if you're gonna go separate ways, and just let them remember you as somebody they met and you put a smile in their face. And that's what a relationship is about. A relationship is about putting a smile to your spouse. If you are a man, you put a smile to your woman. And a woman, put a smile to your husband and or to your partner, knowing that they're not perfect, but I'm just grateful that they're here with me, because somebody else, 2021, lost their husband. A woman, somebody lost their son. A man lost their son as well. But you know what? My spouse is still with me. It's just little things, just being grateful to God and being grateful to the universe. That makes a big, big, big difference in your life.
Yeah. And I think Absolutely. That, I mean, the gratefulness is key, because it really gives us the ability to open our heart and shift in a different way neurologically. And I think that, and I think sometimes it's quite hard. I know that when I was little and I was struggling at home and I had a lot of stuff going on, to be thankful. There used to be this song, "Thank you for waking me this morning," and I used to hate it because
Yeah.
I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel happy. I was
Yeah.
disconnected from myself, so I didn't know
Yeah.
how to feel happy, and except if it was in the extreme. So I think for people that find it hard to be grateful, it can be just useful to look at something that may be small, very
Yeah.
small, and just practice the words thank you. Just practice the words, even if you don't mean anything. Just practice actually saying them, because it's quite hard sometimes if you've struggled. But one of the things could be just in simple things, like if you talk to an inanimate thing, you can start by practicing on your computer by saying to your computer, "Thank you for being such a good computer today. You didn't go off. Great, thank you." And you can, if you find it hard to do that, and then start to shift to people, or to something that's smaller than the big people that have caused hassles. And what you'll find is that very soon it's often more that this connection isn't there, and it's really weird. But a lot of women, with one of our default things for many women, because of conditioning, is we kind of go in, right? And so it's quite hard. And when we're trying to say thank you and we're not feeling it, we don't do it because it's hard. Yeah. So the thing is just to try and do little things, little tiny things, not big ones. And then accumulatively, you start to get that sense of gratefulness come in. But maybe you could just start with little words like "I appreciate" rather than "I'm grateful," because they are two different levels in frequency, in actual fact. And in actual fact, appreciation is basically more, it's a higher one, and it says, "I see you.
Yeah.
I see you as the God that is you." So yeah, I think that that's something that can be very useful to do. And of course, I think spending a little time regularly throughout the day, just doing some deep breaths. Yeah. Doing something where you do mind cleaning. So this is really clear, really important. When you take a moment, for example, if you just take a moment, we could do this now, just rub two fingers together with such attention. If you could do that now, just rub it together with such attention so that you can feel your fingertips. And just really feel your fingertips, so that you can feel the ridges on your fingers. Just really notice, just bring your attention. And then just take a nice breath in and out. And you'll probably notice that already you felt calm. Yeah. So it doesn't take 3 or 4 minutes. It just takes 30 seconds. And you can bring your brain into a place where you build some mental muscle. And if you do that regularly throughout the day, you're going to be calmer and calmer and calmer and calmer, which means that when someone comes and reacts, you are going to be nicer.
Yeah.
You're automatically going to think, well, what's happening for them? You're going to be more empathic. So then you're already raising your frequency.
Yeah.
And then it'll be easier to say thank you. Then it'll be easier to be appreciative, because now you've built that mental muscle. Yeah. So it's really important. So even little things like that, when you're having a cup of coffee, just really concentrate on the coffee for 2 minutes, sitting there. Oh, it's nice and warm all the way down. Right. You need a minimum of 30 seconds and a maximum of 2 minutes. That will give you sufficient energy to be able to move the next minute. And that's the greatest thing, is we can do this mental clearing very quickly. And that just brings everything down regulates us, and it takes us into the peace mode. Yeah. So if you're finding that you're reacting, it's a really good idea just to even just take your attention, whatever you're holding, hold on to it and just go, oh, my fingers are holding over there. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, which one's pressing harder? You can really be creative. But if you just do enough that you don't do what you've always done, you'll get a different result. And I guarantee that that will start to shift that mindset. It'll shift you energetically. You'll feel better. And, the chances are then when you're not looking, you've already put in the universe, this is what I want. It's going to find you because you're resonating. You're thinking, feeling, doing everything that you are doing. You raised yourself enough so that this can come in.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true, Shireen. Showing appreciation, I think it is very, very important. It is basically to be in the present moment and
Yeah.
enjoy that cup of tea or coffee that you have, because we always on the go. We don't enjoy the things that we do. There are times where sometimes I go in the bath, I would just run water until it's full up, and sometimes I just lie there and without thinking and just let my mind just clear everything, just be in the present moment. It does help, because if you don't do that, you basically, we are always on the go, we are always busy, and as a business, like you have your own business, you know how things are like. You coaching people, and when you when you're busy, or sometimes somebody may just call you, the clients you worked with before, and they're like, can I get some advice and stuff? So, and you can't say, oh no, sorry, I'm busy, or you will give them 5 minutes. So why not give yourself that 5 minutes, or just relax and just enjoy your cup of tea or your cup of coffee and be in the present moment. I think I'm with you on that one, and connecting as well, because when you disconnect with yourself, that means you disconnect with everything around you. So it's very, very important to always be in the moment. You have time to meditate. I basically meditate every single day, and I have to give myself time. I used to take 3 hours getting ready before, and I've cut down to 1 hour or 45 minutes. And I use those 2 hours basically to pray, meditate, and making sure that I basically relax in bed before I just jump out of bed. So, and for those who are Christians, you can fast. I fast every week, and you just have time to connect, because it's very, very important spiritually to connect with yourself. Connect with yourself, you'll be able to a spirit of love and connect with them as well. Over you, are you still there, Shereen? Can you hear me?
I'm here. I think it's breaking down a little bit.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I think I'm just okay. I didn't. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I was saying it's very important to actually connect, because when you disconnect, why am I frozen?
I
Am I
don't know why
frozen?
you're frozen.
Okay,
I don't
but can
have
you?
anything coming up for mine.
Okay, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about connecting within yourself. It's very, very important to connect, to make sure that spiritually you are connected within. And because if you are not connected, you are actually, you can disconnect even with everything around you. So you need to stay focused. You need to be in the present moment. And also for those who are single, who have been single for a long time, we have to watch our language, how we speak as well, because our language is the critical component for us to move forward with whatever we do in life. If you are single and you know exactly what you want in your heart, Don't be afraid of you being single, but be be clear with the universe and with God. Your want has to be clear. Don't say I'm happy being single, knowing inside your heart you're not. And if you know that you are not, tell it is. Tell God as it is. Rehearsal your want, your desires. I speak to God. 2 weeks ago, I was telling God I'm not happy with the gossip talk shows. I'm not happy with the Hope Springs tenant introduction agency. And I was saying, I appreciate you, God, for what you've done for me. I'm not saying I don't appreciate, but I do. And I was saying these blessings, they seem to be coming from Satan and not from you. So I need my blessings that comes from you. And I was rehearsing everything, like the way that I basically telling God and telling the universe, this is where I stand between me and God. And I was like, God, anything you ask, it says in your name. And I'm asking in your name, and I'm asking my environment, my friends around me, asking for anyone that is connected to me on social media, with me on social media, and connecting with my friends. And I was like, I just want my friends to be happy. I want to be happy as well. And I'm happy, but I'm not 100% happy with my blessings. And I was telling him how I feel. And I felt was like, Nomsa, I hear you. And I hear you. And I was like, I felt that you were saying, thank you for letting me know. Next time, I'll try better. Or he was showing me to focus. If I want my blessings to come the way I want, I need to not work hard, but I need to stay focused to where I need to go, or maybe have a clear vision of where I need to go. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my vision and have a look at my vision. If you don't know in a relationship, go back to your roots and see why you are things are the way they are, or maybe if you are in a relationship without blaming yourself. Carol Ann always says, whatever you do, don't blame yourself. And just because when you want to make a decision, you want to work on yourself, or you want to move forward with life, you can't blame yourself. You have to be appreciate your life. You have to be grateful as well at the same time, and then you have to want your want. Your want is your want. Your blessings are yours, nobody else. So you have to claim it. And when you claim it, you have to believe that you've already got them. So that's why I was telling God exactly, Shireen, what I want. And I was thanking Him for giving me those things that I want.
Yeah.
Because I believe that he has made it happen for me. So any words of encouragement before we leave?
Well, I think that I always think that people have the resources that they need. They're there. We just
Yeah.
have to look for them. Basically.
Did you actually read my mind? Look, this is not a joke. When I was sitting here, you were writing. I put options for love are always there. You just can't see it.
Yeah, well, when you're talking with someone, you're reconnecting, and when we connect, of course, the universe, all the energy is flowing. So that
Yeah.
is great. And I think that we have those resources. What's the most important thing is to just take a moment to really just see ourselves for what we are. Yeah. And we are the essence of the creator. So when we do that, let yourself just get that feeling. And what's really important is we use the word the present, but what do we give gifts to? What do we call gifts? We call gifts presence. And so we have presence and presence. So when you're in the present, you give yourself the present and you give yourself the presence of your present. So, it's really all about you, and it
Yeah.
is about you giving yourself the gifts. You have these gifts and use those gifts. So whatever's happened in your life, they are all gifts if we look at them in the right way. If we look at them and go, you know what? this taught me this, this taught me this, this taught me this, and how can I help somebody so that they don't need to have to do this, right? Or help them through this in a way that I did. Yeah. So
Yeah.
everything that we have in our life has prepared us for this moment. Yeah. One of the interesting things that I kind of really was working with a lot, and I was trying to think, what is the real problem that happens with women with imposter syndrome, certainly in my age? And really, it's a regret. Regret is one of the biggest things that come up, certainly. And we don't make decisions because we're going to regret them. Yeah. But the thing is, regret is really about, basically, when we look at this from a neurological perspective, is because we don't take action.
Yeah.
We haven't taken action. That's why we regret. So we kind of doomed. Well, I don't want to do this in case I regret it, but then I don't do it and I regret it anyway. So it's really, it's the paradox. So how do you get out of that? You just act and you say, I'm the present. I'm just going to do whatever I do in this present.
Yeah.
And all I can do is thank myself for the gift that I am. And then move from there and say, okay, the one thing I can do is I can watch my mental mindset. I can watch when I have those negative thoughts. I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to take a nice deep breath and I'm going to tell the lie to go away. And I'm going to put a better one in. I'm going to put a better truth in. I'm going to listen to the real truth. Because when you're quiet in that moment, you hear the truth. You hear the stillness of God flowing through you. Yeah? But we can only really receive that when we are still.
Yeah.
So we need to be present in the presence of ourselves.
Yeah, that is so true, Shireen. For me, basically, I live with this. If someone is single and you don't have someone on Valentine's Day, like Shireen said, start your day with appreciation to God or to the universe for your life, and gratitude as well is very, very important. And go for a walk. The weather is nice. It's not. We don't have snow. It's not raining. Even if it's raining, just go for a walk. And
Fill yourself up. Fill yourself up.
yeah, yes, get out of a defensive mood to say, "Why me?" You know what? There's quality. Somebody that is on his way to you. Only if you are open to that person, and just don't just date anybody. God doesn't
Exactly.
want you to date anyone for the sake of dating. He wants you to date somebody with qualities of a man and the qualities of a woman. And that's what he wants for you. He wants what's best for you. So, and just enjoy life. If you are single on your own, go for a walk or go to the gym or meet up with some friends or simple buy something, a takeaway, and get a movie on Netflix and just entertain yourself. Have fun. Why not?
And
And
if anyone says anything, you say he's just not here yet, or she's
yes,
just not here yet.
yeah,
I'm getting ready for them to come.
yeah,
So
she's on the
today
way.
I'm spending
He's
a
on the
day in
way. He's on
readiness.
his way. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because then you can get excited, you can let the energy be there, and it
yeah,
can make you happy. And then because when you come from that place of not enough, then you're kind of grabbing to try and fill you. But if you go, oh no, he's coming, I'm trusting that I've put that there. Yes, it can be quite a challenge, but you just have to keep going. No, I'm gonna and when you tell someone I'm readying myself for someone to come in, you're creating in that moment, and you're telling people, and so when they talk to you, they're ready to know you are ready. Yeah. And so
yeah,
their energy is going to be different. They're not going to be sorry for you. They're going to go, wow, she's getting ready. Yeah. And then they'll think about something and think, oh, let's go and do this together so that we can be even more ready. Yeah. So these kind of things which can make you feel happy, because then you're happy in the moment.
yeah.
Back to happiness. When you're happy in the moment, you are ready. It's when you're not happy that the readiness isn't there.
That is so true. Definitely, you have to be happy. You make yourself happy, and then somebody else you share that happiness with them. And for those who are already in a relationship, I don't need to tell you what you need to do. If you have pulled through with your relationship 2020 and 2021, I can tell you, you can pull through anything. Honestly, being
You
stuck with
can.
your spouse, honestly, you can pull through anything. If any relationship that survived 2020 and 2021, I give you a medal, and I say on Valentine's Day, you just don't need to be that special day. You need to receive your medal from God and from the universe for keeping that relationship, because it's been a tough years for us. So thank you, everyone. We are here Monday to Friday at Ngozi Talk Shows. And please get in touch with any of the coaches. If you connect, you feel like there's a coach that you would like to basically work with, or just a free consultation, just get in touch through our page, or you can go to Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency, send me a message through the website, and I'll connect you with whoever you want to connect with. And please follow us on our social media and on our YouTube channel. And you can follow the coaches as well as the individual, because they would love to be connected with you as well. So live with grace, everyone, and God bless.
Thank you.